This is the story of emancipation, narrated by Elder Aiyegoro Ome.
There was a time when I had written a newspaper column concerning Beetham Estate in the context of Laventille. I said that the irony about a favela, which is a Latin American term for a slum outside of a city, I said that a favela like Beetham Estate, it is ironic that despite the neglect that Laventille continues to suffer, Laventille is in fact the spiritual center of Africans in Trinidad and Tobago. And I am saying that Laventille deserves consideration as a heritage site. If that aspect of Laventille is understood, we may have a clear path toward a further development of the area. Respect for Beetham and other parts of Laventille has to be addressed urgently because we are now confronted with Ella Andel's missing generation. Trinidad, during the 19th century, had been described as the most cosmopolitan of the English-speaking West Indian islands, and more African laborers on the island lived in Port-of-Spain than in rural areas in Trinidad. Africans settled in Port-of-Spain as part of their escape from the plantations. One of the features of Laventille was its strong sense of community solidarity. Laventille is one of the places that Africans had their secret societies called convois, C-O-N-V-O-I-S. I want to remind you that during the time that Africans were first brought to Trinidad, they began organizing themselves into secret societies, convois or convoys, later called regiments. And these institutions were present in Port-of-Spain, St. Joseph, Diego Martin, St. Anne's, and Carenage. Each convoi had a king, a queen, and other ranks. The names of some of the convois were the Cocorite, the Macaque, the St. George, the Danish, the Guadeloupe, La Fantasy, and the Dreadnought. Every rank in the convoy had its own responsibilities. These societies were the African means of maintaining communal solidarity. On the surface, they were meant for dancing and mutual support, to care for the sick, to assist one another when anyone couldn't pay their house or their hire to their master. It is in Laventille that Jonas Mohammed Bath set up a community of liberated African Muslims. These liberated Africans were captives that were brought to Trinidad and later purchased their own freedom. Their settlement was at Bath Street, which is named after Jonas Mohammed Bath. Within Laventille, the spiritual Baptists grew and developed. Within that same Laventille, the Orisha devotees kept their tradition alive. Laventille is one of the birthplaces of Pan. Laventille gave us poets like Abdul Malik, the bad poet, Brother Book, and the late Lastana Kwesi, and Leroy Callist, who is a namesake of Black Stallion. Kitchener, David Rudder, D. Diamond, Mr. King, and the Young Creole are Laventillians or have sung about Laventille. The late Lancelot Lane and Leroy Clark have their roots in Gonzales, which is adjacent to Laventille. Laventille is featured in our politics. There were the 1881 Cambole riots. There was the Negro Welfare Social and Cultural Association. Tubal Uriah Butler campaigned there. Dr. Eric Williams is in the early days of the PNM. And of course, the National Joint Action Committee. Unfortunately for many Laventillians, recognition was dependent on escaping from the community. Derek Walcott, the Nobel laureate, who penned Laventille, wrote, "To go downhill from here was to ascend. We need to assess Laventille completely so that we can regain respect for the community.
Laventille, here we come. Laventille, here we come. We're singing praises to your son, let me tell you now. Oh, Laventille, yeah, here we come. Laventille.
African Diaspora Views. Please visit our YouTube channel for the complete series. Like and subscribe to the channel to support our efforts. Ashe.